Hey y'all, welcome to my channel Divinely Transformed, where freedom begins within. It really does. And together, we break the chains of karma and reclaim our power and rise into divine sovereignty. Your path to autonomy and freedom starts right here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, whichever the case may be. I am so glad that you're here. This is my third video in this, and I had to redo the video in the first place because I got a sex strike for the artwork of the card of the lovers. So I'm going to use a different deck because this deck has clothes on it, and I had to change the thumbnail to the people having clothes. So ridiculous because it's art, but whatever. I mean, I kind of see the point. I'm not really about putting out sexual content, so I get it. But anyhow, since it was my first offense, like I had to answer a 7-question thing, like a coaching thing, and then it'll be taken off my record of YouTube in February. Since it's my first warning, it's just like a verbal warning, so it'll roll off in a few months. It was unintentional, so hey, let's go ahead and get started with this here Lovers card. So the Lovers in the upright, the main meanings are harmonious relationships and soul connections. It talks about a union rooted in honesty, mutual respect, and balanced give and take. Could reflect romantic love, deep friendship, or a soulmate contract. I just want to interject here. There's a lot of people out there that think that soulmates are special. Soulmates really aren't special. Like, you roll with a lot of soulmates, and it's just how it goes. And like your family, someone in your family could be like a soulmate because you have a union rooted in honesty, mutual respect, and a balanced give and take with them. It could be your lover, but it doesn't have to be. A lot of people think that, but it can be your best friend. It can be someone you work with that you love being around. Stuff like that. I mean, it's souls that speak our language, that we have deep, meaningful connections with. And that's what a soulmate means. So, we have lots of them. Let's continue. More meanings for the lovers in the upright. It's talking about a choice from the heart, and it puts you at a crossroads requiring authenticity. Choose what aligns with your higher self, not with external pressure. So it's about aligning yourself with something that you know that you need, you want, but you're afraid to do. Alignment with your head and heart is extremely important whenever we're living our lives. The Lovers also means the integration of duality, uniting inner masculine and feminine, logic and intuition, or two parts of self that were once divided. And it also means the alignment of values. I mean, we kind of already touched on that. You're being called to live in integrity with your beliefs and not compromise your truth to please others. I can remember my whole childhood being like that. I was in integrity with my beliefs. I kept everything to myself, and I was the yes girl. The Gemini influence of the Lovers, it's a relationship built on mental connection, communication, and curiosity. All things Gemini. And it also encourages truth-telling, asking questions, and seeking another's perspective. Oh, with my Venus and Gemini, I understand this so well. The positives and the negatives, because I remember the past and I didn't bring it with me into the future. So the karmic gifts of the lovers, when it's upright, it means sacred union. It's experiencing a relationship that accelerates spiritual growth and mirrors your soul's evolution. It's also mirroring for healing. You attract people who help you recognize your strengths, wounds, and hidden potential. That sounds easy, but that shit's painful. Because if they mirror your trauma back to you, you're getting abused. It's just facts. The last karmic gift, when it's upright, it means choice as power. It's mastery of free will. You learn how aligned choices shape destiny. So your choices need to be aligned. Your head and heart need to match. Like your choices, your relationships, things like that. I have some shadow work prompts for the lovers in the upright. And it's kind of like a self-check. Where do I silence myself to maintain harmony? I remember doing that all through childhood and half of my adult life. It hurts whenever you're doing it that long. Do I choose relationships that honor my values or ones that simply feel familiar and safe? Well, whenever I was younger, I had no idea what that was. I took relationships that felt familiar, but they never felt safe. What part of myself is reflected back to me in others that I struggle to accept? That's the main thing. And that's the one thing that I always ask myself whenever I'm having trouble with someone. What is it that's within them that is bothering me so much? Because that's within me too. That's a part of growth. The main meanings of the lovers in reverse is a disconnection or a misalignment. A relationship or inner balance, or a relationship or inner choice is out of balance. Values, communication, or intentions may not match. It means people pleasing or self-betrayal, sacrificing your needs to keep peace or to be chosen. Keeping the peace, that ain't real. Because you don't have no peace within you, there ain't no peace. Because it reflects outside of you. So it's all around you when it's inside of you. There is no way that you can suppress yourself and your wants and your desires and have inner peace. People pleasing or self-betrayal, sacrificing your needs to keep the peace or be chosen. Disharmony between mind and heart, logical versus emotional conflict, or inner fragmentation that keeps you from clarity. So that's like fragmented thinking, that keeps you from seeing things clearly. And it's like an active process that you can throw yourself into that is actually a distraction. And it's confusing. It's a process of inner fragmentation. I don't recommend it, but a lot of people do it unconsciously. And I think I did too, but you have to learn to control your thoughts at some point. But anyhow, the main meanings of the lovers in reverse, the last one, is temptation and consequences. It's acting from impulse, lust, or escapism rather than integrity. So the Gemini shadow aspect of the lovers is inconsistency, mixed signals, indecision, avoidance of difficult conversations, or using charm to bypass accountability. The karmic lessons when the lovers is reverse is self-worth in relationships. You are learning not to barter your identity for love or acceptance. Discernment. Not every soul connection is meant to become a union. Some arrive only to teach or awaken. So there are some people that you can meet in your life, feel such intense, powerful emotions for, thinking you found the one. They're just They're just meant to awaken something within you. That's it. No relationship. Took a long time for me to realize that too. Years. Integrity under temptation. The karmic test is to choose alignment even when desire or ego offers an easier path. Separation for evolution. Sometimes the falling apart is the karmic contract completing. I've learned to be grateful for that, because that's like really, really stressful and then really, really relieving. And when you feel that relief, there's no feeling like it. It's like freedom. Anyhow, there are some shadow work prompts that you can do to check yourself with the Lovers in reverse. Where have I abandoned myself to be loved or chosen? What red flags did I overlook because the connection felt magical? Oh, I was notorious for that. I'm glad I don't do that anymore. I see people how they are now. I used to see people through the eyes of potential and what I wanted them to be. Do I confuse intensity with intimacy? Oh, I sure did. I mean, there were so many times where I thought that this was the one. No, it wasn't, because there was no honest and open communication. It didn't align with full alignment of the Lover's Gemini energy. And the last shadow work prompt is, what values do I betray when I fear being alone? I don't really know that answer to that question for myself, but I'm sure that I did a lot to betray myself, because I sure felt it. Anyhow, so in summary, the upright in the Lovers is healthy union, aligned choices, inner and outer harmony. And in the reverse is when you don't have inner and outer harmony, when you have a misalignment, when you are betraying yourself, denial, or karmic imbalance that is calling for truth and reintegration. The Lovers asks, are you choosing from fear or from truth? So many times in my life, I think every single decision I ever made was probably born out of fear. And sometimes I still battle that, because it's been a lifelong thing, but I am learning to break that pattern by choosing from truth consciously. And it takes effort, and it's not comfortable. You're not going to want to, but I promise you that whenever you start being conscious about what about your choices and how you feel when you're making the choices, there's a difference between making choices from fear and from truth. And when you know that you're making your decisions out of fear, you feel like everything's an emergency, that's the time to step back and just like reevaluate. And what is a choice that you can make from actual truth and not fear? Because we are called not to feed the fear. That's exactly what keeps us stuck in karmic cycles. When embraced, this card brings karmic elevation through conscious love, whether it's with someone else or with your own soul. And it starts with yourself. You have to be in full alignment with yourself in order to have one of these, balanced relationships that are, very aligned, and they're harmonious. They're rooted in honesty, mutual respect. There's a balance, give and take, right? So, if you found this video useful, I know it's a little bit longer than the others, but it's okay. There's a lot to learn here. And putting my own experiences in here, because I relate to it so well, I think is helpful too. So I hope it doesn't take away from the actual content of the card. I think it just brings more meaning to it. So thank y'all so much for your time, for being here with me today. If you liked this video, if you thought it was useful, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. It doesn't matter. I mean, just comment away. And I appreciate everybody for all of their support for all of my platforms. And also keep in mind that I do have daily content over on TikTok. So I have that information in the description box below if you're interested in more content. Thanks again, and I'll talk to y'all soon.